Welcome back. Today we're talking about real home automation, not gimmicks, not flashy toys, but the systems and setups that genuinely make your home smarter, safer, and cheaper to run. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you can automate, and more importantly, how you would actually do it in real life. We'll look at systems like Home Assistant, Crestron, QSys, and others, and I'll give you practical examples for each type of automation so you can picture how it works in your own home. And if you want help designing or installing any of this, Tall Oak Smart Spaces can take care of the technical side. The link is in the description. Let's start with the brains of the operation, the control system. Home Assistant is the most flexible option for DIY setups. You typically run it on a small computer like a Raspberry Pi or an Intel NUC. You connect your smart plugs, switches, sensors, heating system, and cameras to it. And then you build automations using simple logic. For example, you can create an automation that says, if everyone leaves the house, turn off all lights and reduce the heating. It's powerful, and once you've built a few automations, it becomes surprisingly easy to use. Crestron is the professional, high-end option. A typical Crestron home has a central processor, touch panels on the walls, and all your lighting, audio, heating, blinds and security wired into the system. Everything is programmed by an installer, so the experience is seamless. For example, you can press an away button on a Crestron panel and instantly turn off the lights, lower the heating, arm the alarm, and lock the doors. It's extremely polished. QSys is usually found in commercial spaces like theatres and conference centres, but it's becoming more common in high-end homes. A typical example would be your home cinema starting a movie. QSys can dim the lights, close the blinds, switch the audio routing, and adjust the heating to quiet mode automatically. It's very powerful, but definitely not a DIY system. Now let's talk about the practical stuff you can automate today. Smart plugs are the easiest starting point. You plug your TV, games console, or lamp into a smart plug, connect it to your automation system, and suddenly you can control it intelligently. For example, when you leave the house, the TV can turn off automatically. At midnight, the power in the lounge can shut down. When you arm the alarm, all non-essential plugs can switch off. It's simple, but incredibly effective. Smart light switches are another great upgrade. They replace your existing wall switches, but they give you remote control, scheduling, and automation. For example, you can install a smart switch in your hallway and set it so that when you arrive home, the hallway lights turn on automatically. When everyone leaves, they turn off. At sunset, they fade up gently. And because they're switches, they still work even if someone presses them manually. Smart water heating is another big win. If you have an immersion heater or electric water tank, you can connect it to a smart relay. Then you can automate it so that water heats only during off-peak electricity times. You can turn it off automatically when you leave the house. And you can boost it for 30 minutes when you arrive home. This alone can save a noticeable amount on your energy bill. Now let's move into more advanced territory, smart breakers. These sit inside your fuse board and let you control entire circuits instead of individual devices. You can turn circuits on or off, monitor power usage, and automate whole areas of your home. For example, you can put your downstairs sockets on a smart breaker. At 11 o'clock at night, all downstairs sockets can turn off. When the alarm is armed, they turn off. When everyone leaves the house, they turn off. When you arrive home, they turn back on. It's extremely powerful, but because it involves your fuse board, you'll need a qualified electrician to install them safely. Tall Oak Smart Spaces can arrange this as part of a full automation setup. Monitoring your power usage is another huge benefit. With a clamp sensor or smart breaker, you can see exactly how much power each part of your home is using. You might discover that your oven uses 2.5 kilowatts, your tumble dryer uses 2 kilowatts, your gaming PC spikes to 600 watts, and your fridge averages 80 watts. Once you know this, you can automate intelligently. For example, if your total power usage goes above 5 kilowatts, you can turn off non-essential circuits. If electricity prices rise, you can pause water heating. If usage drops at night, you can activate night mode. This is where automation becomes genuinely cost-saving. Now let's talk about the biggest money saver, Proximity automation. Your phone knows when you're home. Your partner's phone knows when they're home. Your kids' phones know when they're home. So your house can make decisions based on who's in and who's out. For example, when everyone leaves the house, your system can turn off all lights, turn off all smart plugs, reduce heating to frost protect, stop water heating, turn off downstairs sockets, shut down TVs and consoles, and power down non-essential circuits. Critical devices like fridges, freezers, servers, fish tanks, and medical equipment stay on. This saves a huge amount of energy without you doing anything. You can also link automation to your alarm system. When you arm the alarm, the house can turn off lights, reduce heating, shut down sockets, and stop water heating. It becomes a simple, one button shuts the house down setup. Heating is one of the best things to automate. When your phone leaves the house, your heating can drop to frost protect. Radiators can turn off. Underfloor heating can go into low energy mode. Then, when your phone is within half a mile of home, the heating can turn back on. Rooms can begin warming, and hot water can start heating. By the time you walk through the door, the house feels comfortable without heating it all day. You can also automate heating room by room based on activity. For example, your TV can be connected to a smart plug. When the TV turns on, the living room heating can increase by 1 or 2 degrees. When the TV turns off and there's no movement for 30 minutes, the heating can reduce. Motion sensors can also control heating. If motion is detected, keep the heating at normal level. If there's no motion for 30 minutes, reduce it. But be careful with bedrooms. When you sleep, you barely move, so motion-based heating will think you've left the room and turn off. Use schedules and temperature targets instead. Finally, let's talk about nighttime automation. At a set time, like midnight, your home can turn off all ground floor sockets, turn off TVs, and turn off lights. Reduce heating and switch into night mode. This saves energy, but it also has a bonus effect. If your kids are up late watching TV, the house will politely encourage bedtime by turning everything off. And if your partner is binge-watching Netflix at 1 in the morning, automation can be a very persuasive bedtime assistant. If you want help designing or installing any of this, Tall Oak Smart Spaces can build a complete automation system tailored to your home. The link is in the description. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know what part of your home you want to automate next.